Hey. Welcome back to a brand new live, man. Welcome back to the stream, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls out there. If you don't know who I am, my name is Lannie. Yeah, I'm a personal trainer in the New York State area. If you guys are living within the tri-state area, New York, New Jersey, Connecticut, and you're looking for a personal trainer, I can be your man. You could call, you could message me, email me. We could set something up if that's something you can afford. Let's get to the conversation, have a conversation, and see if we could work together, man. Yeah, absolutely. Why not? If you're looking for somebody to constantly keep you motivated, if you're looking for somebody that's willing to drive out to you, to your local gym, to your home gym, show you the proper technique to work out, to do weight resistance training, to help you with the cardio sessions, and most importantly, to help you with the food plan. That's the most important thing. If you want to live a healthier lifestyle, you have to become disciplined with food. That's the most important thing, ladies and gentlemen. Become disciplined with the food that you eat every single day. Yep, I said it. Yeah, man, I'm starting out a little late today. It's already after 6 o'clock, man, but actually just made it home. Thank God. To go do a couple of other things. I had to do a couple of things today, so it took me a little while to get back to the property. Yeah, I made it. Oh, thank God I made it. That's what most important. I made it back home. A lot of people take leaving the house for granted. Don't take leaving your house for granted, man. Every day you leave your house, pray to God before you even leave, and pray to God when you come back. Always pray to God before you leave your house. Always pray to God to say thank you very much for guiding me back into the property that you gave me to be comfortable. Always show gratefulness to God, man, because you guys don't understand how many people leave their house every day and do not make it back home. You guys don't have no idea, but a lot of people just realize stuff in life, and a lot of people just realize things in life when bad things happen close to them. If something bad happens to somebody that they know or somebody they love, that's when they start taking things into consideration. A lot of people just live that life, like ungrateful. A lot of people are very ungrateful. You know what I mean? So I think it's very, very important, ladies and gentlemen. You don't take your life for granted. Don't take nothing for granted. And especially your life. I mean, be grateful every day that God give you the strength that you can actually walk on your own. Be grateful to God every single day for the fact that you can see, you have vision. Be grateful every single day to God and His family that you can hear. Your hearing is perfectly fine. Be grateful to God and His family that you can actually smell. Be grateful to God and His family that you can actually taste. Just be grateful, man. Be grateful to God and His family. You have your both hands that you could use to eat, to prepare food, to bathe. Just every single day, don't take your life for granted. Every day you wake up, be very grateful to God and His family. Because a lot of people, ladies and gentlemen, a lot of people leave their house every day and they'll never make it back home. So always, if you don't listen to nothing I say, please take this into consideration. Every single day before you leave your house, pray to God and His family to watch over you on your journey, to watch over you, to guide you, and to please guide you back into your property safely. Don't take leaving your house just leave in your house just to go to the supermarket. You have no idea if you're going to return. You know what I mean? The way things are going in this world these days, there's so many problems all around us every day, so many problems all around the world. It's so many chaos every single place you turn. So, man, my advice to you people out there, man, just always be grateful to God and His family for another day. Always put God and His family first in everything that you do. Always. Don't take getting up on leaving your house for granted. Don't take the fact that you can walk on your own for granted. Don't take the fact that you can see, you have vision. Don't take none of those things for granted. Give the praise to God and His family. Those God and His family is the reason that you can see. God and His family is the reason that you can walk. So give the praise to God and His family every day, as much as you can. Just say thanks. They just say thanks for everything and just to watch over you, you know? Yeah, man, but you guys know, that being said, God bless us all. Let's get into the video. Today I'm gonna do a little bit of back. I'm gonna try to squeeze in 3 different back exercises today as we have this conversation. So I'm gonna start off the exercise first, and then you know what I want to talk about today? The most trending human being on this planet. You guys know, tell me who is the most trending person on the planet, not just in the United States. The most trending human being on this planet, around the world, every place. Who is trending right now? Yep, if you guess, Mr. Donald J. Trump, our United States president, the commander in chief in the United States. That's who we're going to have a conversation about. If this man is trending every day, I'm going to talk about every single day. I'm going to talk about Mr. Donald J. Trump. And once again, this is not a channel this is not a stream for negativity or for bad talking people or for being negative. No, I'll let you guys know right now, this is not a stream that bad talk people or belittle people or bring people down or gossip. No, we having a very uplifting conversation, a good dialogue about Mr. Donald J. Trump and the decisions the decision that he's currently making. Today is his 4th day, 4 days, 4th day in the White House, and he's not slowing down. he's not slowing down. So yeah, we're gonna talk a little bit about Mr. Donald J. Trump, and yeah, we'll have a little conversation, guys, and get us the workout in. You know, this stream is not about playing video games. I don't like playing video games. I don't like playing video games. This stream is about actually working out, doing something positive for the body, and having a conversation. This is what this stream is about. Monday to Friday, I stream live. And the most important thing about the stream, I want you guys to know that living a healthy lifestyle is very important. That's why I wanted to do this. I want you people out there to know that being healthy is very, very important. Making health a part of your daily routine is very, very important. I don't see people doing that out there. 99% of streamers, they're streaming video games. That's what they do. Sit and play video games and chat now. I don't like copying what others do. I do what I do because I think it's necessary to help others. Playing video games is not helping nobody. Showing people that you can actually have a conversation, and at the same time having a conversation, you can actually do something productive for your health. So this is who I am. This is what I like doing. I just include my workout with having a live stream to have a conversation as well. Let's go. You know, always build this up, you know. Let's go, man. Let's go. Enough talking, boys and girls. Let's get my first set in. That's right. Exercise is really good. Your back, really, really good, bro. Starting off 45 pounds. It's a nice little warm up. Ooh. 20 reps. It's a nice warm up. Let's get the blood running. Yeah. Yeah, nice little 20 reps warm up set. This feels good. Yeah, man. Well, today, Mr. Donald J. Trump gave the federal agency by the name of ICE. Mr. Donald J. Trump gave that agency, which is a federal agency in the United States, he granted them the permission to remove people that's currently on probation and parole that has no paperwork connected to the United States. So if you want to know what that means, what is the meaning of what I'm saying, that people that is on people that's on parole or for committing a crime, you could get to parole or probation if you commit a crime, and Some people go to jail for a little while, come out, and they come out on parole. Probation means that you don't do jail time, but you have to do a couple of months, probably a couple of years of probation. It could be a petty crime. It could be a simple misdemeanor crime. And instead of doing 12 months in jail, they'll give you 24 months of probation. It could be simple petty stuff for probation. The parole stuff tends to be a little more serious. I'd say 8 out of 10 parole case, the person that's on parole actually did jail time. Then they got released after a couple of probably days, months, weeks. It could be days, weeks, months, or years. So parole is a little more serious than probation. But you guys get what I'm trying to say. So the president of the United States, which is Mr. Donald J. Trump, he gave the federal agency ISIS the power to literally take people that's on parole and probation and end the parole and probation. They could immediately go and arrest them, end the parole, meaning that you don't have a warrant, you didn't run from parole. They would just end your parole and immediately do the process. Let's get the process started to get you deported. Once again, the process started to get you deported. That's the thing a lot of people don't understand. Like, regardless if the agency ICE come to you and get you for whatever reason, there's still a due process you have to go through in the United States. The United States is not a communist country. The United States it's a country that everybody has the right to a fair process. So regardless if you get a knock on your door and they come and get you and they say, okay, you committed a crime 5 years ago and you're on parole for this crime, so now we want to deport you. So God willing, you do have a little bit of money, or your family have a little bit of money, you could hire a good attorney and let that attorney fight for your right to stay in the United States with a judge. Because at the end of the day, a judge has the final decision to make. And once again, you cannot buy judges out. A lot of federal judge, the federal system is very tough. It's very tough to beat the federal system because the feds in the United States has the most money. The federal government has the most money. So whenever you have a federal case, it's very, very hard to beat a federal case. So I'm not saying the judges in the federal court systems are biased towards people, because a lot of people say those things, that because the rate, whenever you have a federal case, it's like I'll say 85 to 90% chance you're going to get convicted. Whenever you have any type of federal case, it's very hard to beat the feds. It's very, very hard to beat the federal government in the United States. It's very hard. Like, you could have the greatest lawyer. That still doesn't mean that you're going to beat the case. So a lot of people that I know be saying that the federal system is corrupted because the judges are biased. The judges will not really give the average person a chance that has a federal case. But I tell people that all the time. You look at the mafias, a lot of the mafiosos that was in America, there is always going to be mafia. That's just a gang. People talk about the black gangs, the Hispanic gangs, the Asian gangs. Nobody talks about the Italian mafias, who was running the United States for years, who had the police paid off, who had the judges paid off, who had a bunch of law enforcement paid off. The mafias was running. I'm talking about all 5-6 families that still is running in the United States today. There are still mafia families in the United States right now. But nobody talks about the mafia. Everybody talks about the black gangs. Because the mafias, the Italian mob and the Irish mob, the Albanian mob, the European mobs that's in the United States operating every day, they operate under the rug. They do what they do, but they don't make it known. Because a lot of those criminal organizations are working with judges. They're working with big time law enforcement personnel. They're working with the captains. They're working with the lieutenants. You know, the mafia systems will never go away because those people has the connections. They have the money to put a bunch of this law enforcement personnel in their pocket, and that will never stop. But 9 out of 10 times that you will hear the media talking about the black gangs or the, but anyway, let me get back to the point I'm trying to make. So the point is, right now, a lot of people is saying that the judges be biased to people who has federal cases. Because when you have a federal case in the United States, the evidence against you is overwhelming. The federal government has so much money that they will start building a case on somebody. They will build a case on you for 10 years, that they have the type of money to pay agents, to pay people to actually watch you for 10 years with no problems. That's why I say to people, like, if you ever doing anything illegal and the feds get involved, don't think twice about, oh, let me stop and keep doing it. Don't do one foot out, one foot in, because the federal system has unlimited amount of money, unlimited amount of resources. And there is so many people in this world that's willing to do anything for money. Money was created by man. Money is printed out on a printing machine. But there is so much people in the world, so many people in this world that's willing to do bad things for money. So the federal government knows that. The CIA knows that, the FBI knows that, the DEA knows that, the ATF knows that, ISIS know that. ISIS is also a federal agency. ISIS know that. That's all federal agencies in the United States. All of the federal agencies in the United States know that they have unlimited amount of resources, especially when it comes to money. So they know that they could buy someone's loyalty that's right next to you to bury. They do that all the time. They will use the people that's closest to you. They'll put the people closest to you in their pocket. They will pay the people closest to you to betray you. To where Wyatt get you on wiretaps, get you on surveillance. It'll be the people right next to you every day that you grew up with for 15 years, 20 years. But the federal government, the way they work, they will pick the people around you and they will poke holes in the people around you. And anything comes up with anybody that's around you, it could be a petty situation. They have what you call the mentality of, okay, you know what? This guy, I know he's doing something petty. He's wheeling and dealing marijuana, which is not a big deal. But under the federal law, marijuana is still illegal. And on the state level, marijuana is not on the state level, marijuana is legal on certain level. On certain level on the state level, it's legal. But on the federal level, it's not. So if the feds want to get you, they know they want you for whatever reason, whatever thing that you're doing, they want you, but it's hard for them to get you. So now they know that they have someone next to you that's committing a petty crime. That person next to you that's committing the petty crime that knows you for 20 years, guess what's going to happen? They're going to get this person to commit a serious offense, like doing a buy and bust, meaning that selling a whole amount of marijuana to a federal agent. So now they got that person next to you hooked. Now they got that person next to you like, okay, we got him now. So they're going to use that person that was next to you that they baited for. It could take them days, weeks, months, years to bait that person next to you and catch them in something major. They know, listen once again, they would take someone next to you that's doing something very, very minor. That's like wheeling and dealing petty weed. You're selling petty weed, which is a petty charge. Under the state level, it's a petty charge. But in the feds, it's also petty charge. But weed selling in New York State under the feds level is not legal. So they know that you're willing and dealing petty weed. They will bait you They will bait you into doing something major. And the way they bait you in is that letting you think like you getting away with things. They will have you start petty from with an agent, selling an agent an 8 ball, selling an agent, bullshit. Then little by little, the agent, you're going to start trusting this federal agent. And guess what happens? You trust this federal agent. Now you are going to sell this federal agent 10 pounds of marijuana. So now they got you on the hook. Now you're hooked. So guess what? 9 out of 10 people do when they're hooked by the feds. Instead of thinking, okay, you know what? Okay, I messed up. It's a weed charge. At the end of the day, it's a weed charge. What's the worst could happen? It's a Fed case. Okay. You know what? I'm not even going to waste money on a lawyer. I'll just take the first plea they give me. The first plea for a weed charge, 10 pounds, 20 pounds to a federal agent. You're probably looking at 2 years, 3 years. You know what? Give me the 3 years. No problem. 99% of people they don't have that balls to be like, let me get the 3 years and keep their mouth shut. Don't get nobody else involved. The federal government, the federal system knows that. They know, okay, you know what? Once I catch one of the people around that person that we want to get, I want to catch one person, get them on the hook them real good. Make sure the hook goes all the way in their mouth, grab their throat and everything, just hook them. Once they know they got that hook in them. So now they're going to play ball. You're going to get the option. Listen, we could play ball. We give you the option to keep going back in the streets and do whatever you want to do. Keep peddling at a small rate. Go back to peddling small. Don't do that big stuff. Go back to peddling small. All the money we gave you, we're going to take it back from you anyway. Go back to the small peddling. But guess what? In return, you have to betray this guy, which is now you know this guy for 20 years. This guy's your best friend. You guys grew up together. Your mother cooked for this guy. This guy come and slept in your house when he was younger. You guys did everything together for 20 plus years. And now they got your closest buddy next to you on the hook without you knowing he's on the hook. 9 out of 10 human beings are willing to sell out anybody for the freedom. 9 out of 10 human beings. Majority human beings are garbage. I tell you right now, ladies and gentlemen, and a lot of people will tell me I'm crazy for saying that, but learn to be comfortable by yourself. Learn to stay in your own lane. Learn to not talk as much as others. Learn to let other people talk the most and you listen. Talk less and listen more. Learn to talk less and listen more to others. Believe it or not, people will tell you who they are. No matter how hard they try to keep a secret, you just have to pay attention to the conversation because 100% of the time, when people got the hook in them, now they turn into an informant. Now they turn into a rat for the federal government. 99% of the time, these people are not professionals. So there's some way, somehow, no matter they're being told what to say, they're weighing bugs in the ear. People is talking to them when you're not paying attention, telling them what to ask you because they're trying to catch you on a wiretap. They're trying to catch you to say stuff. So you have to start paying attention and okay, listen to people talk. And you know this person for 20 something plus years. And you could tell if you're a smart person, if you're not one of those people that like talking, the people that like talking will never figure it out. But if you learn to listen and you know somebody for 20 plus years, you could tell immediately when the conversation is not the same after 20 plus years you know this person. After 20 plus years, you have a conversation with somebody that you know every day. You see that person, you guys talk on the phone, you guys talk in person, you over 20 plus years. And you know how that person know how you are. You know the type of conversations you guys have. You know the conversation you had for over 20 years. And all of a sudden that conversation changed. That's when you be like, okay, but you have to tell yourself that something is not right. I had a friend of mine, dude. And that's a story I'll go back to. I'll say, all right, let me do it one set and I'll tell you, I'll give you a story that happened to me over like 15 years. Like 15 años. Pero un momento, pero let me just do a set and I'll go into the conversation with you. Oh, yeah, it's a nice set. Yeah, so let me go into the story I have right now. A little bit of story. I had a friend of mine, somebody who I knew for over a decade, bro. Like, I consider that person a brother, you know? I consider him a brother close to me. We did everything together, man. We hanged out for years, you know. The whole way that, goes to different places. We did a lot together as good friends, so and that's like go back 15 years ago. And one time I could recall, after knowing this guy over 10 years, and we hanged out a lot, I could recall, I'll give you guys two stories about this one individual. It was more than two times, but I'll give you two stories. One summer, we went to the beach. Went to the beach out in Long Island. Went to one of the Long Island beaches out there. Long Island has beautiful beaches. If you guys ever come to New York State in the summertime, drive out to Long Island. Man, Long Island has really pretty nice beaches. I'm not talking about just the Hamptons. The Hamptons has nice waterway as well, but there is a bunch of other beaches in Long Island. But anyway, it's not the point. So we went out to Long Island, we drove out there, and mind you, once again, I know this guy for years. That's my boy, so we drive out there. So we're on the beach, we listen to a little bit of music. It was a couple of us. It was like, I'd say like 6, 7 of us. We was on the beach and had a little radio, listening to some music, and just to understand, just having a good time. It was a beautiful summer day, and everybody's talking, and and he's next to me, and he said to me, because one thing about me, I'm very kind to people. I'm a very kind person to people, but to especially little kids, I like being extra kind to little kids for the simple fact that I'm getting old every day. So a little kid that's little right now, I like doing kind stuff for little kids because older I become, older they become. And God willing, I'm on crutches one day. I will need help lifting something. A little kid that I've been kind to over 20 years ago will see me and help me out. You always do good in life because you never know when you're going to need someone else's help. That's who I am. That's just the person I am. I've always been like that. So him knowing that, like I'm very kind and generous to people. I'm extremely generous and kind to little kids, and all of the people that I consider friends. I don't have kids, but all of the people I consider friends, they have kids. So I will always go visit their kids on the birthday, because I realize in life, and I did several studies on human beings, the behavior of human beings, and I found out that 2 times a year is the most when people actually value other people. Meaning that on someone's birthday, if you could reach out to somebody that you know on their birthday, just to say, you don't have to give them nothing. Just reach out to someone on their birthday via text or via phone call. It's always better if you call, if you can show up. Or if you could even show up, is even better. But for someone's birthday and for Christmas, those 2 times of the year is when people are most vulnerable for others' affection. I swear, I've done studied this for years. Those 2 times every year, someone's birthday and on Christmas, those are the 2 most vulnerable times in human beings. The most vulnerable times Those are the times when they feel, every human being feel, except me. I don't really care. I don't care for people to be around me on my birthday or for Christmas. You probably call me, I'm probably different, but I don't really care for people around me at all. But at the end of the day, people, 95% of people really like when people is next to them for the birthday, people they love, and for Christmas. So anyway, majority of my friends, on Christmas and the kid's birthday, I will always make sure the kids get a Christmas gift and a birthday gift from me, with no problem. It's never strings attached when I do something kind for anybody. Never strings attached. And this guy knew me for years and he knows how I am. Like, this guy is not like me, so me giving little kids birthday present and Christmas present and him knowing that, and that's mutual to our friends. We had the same friends. We was running in the same circle. So I remember we on the beach, having a little cocktail on the beach, we listen to a little music and just having a good time. He started talking to me about, he said, the first thing that made me feel like this conversation is not right. So he waited, we was on the beach for over 2 hours. So he was assuming that I was already a little tipsy, he's thinking. But on the beach, any place, wherever I go outside, I don't get tipsy when I'm around people because I try to stay as focused as possible. No matter how much I trust you, I try to stay focused because I'm very, very, I'm one of those people that it's hard for me to trust people nowadays. Back then, I was more trustworthy towards people. But, now, I'm one of those people that listen more than I talk. When I'm outside in public with a bunch of people, I don't talk at all. I listen more than I say anything. But anyway, he started talking to me about, he said, the first thing that he said that made me, like, in my head, I'm like, what? He said to me, he said, Lannie, damn, you always be kind. You be so kind to little kids, man. He said, what are you waiting for them to get older so you could hook up with them? Like, once he said that, I'm like, I looked at him like, and I looked to the saying, I'm like, did this guy really say that? Like, I know this guy for over 10 years. I'm like, what all of a sudden, what made him say that? So I turned back to him. I'm like, dude, what type of question is that? He's like, no. I'm just curious because you're such a nice guy. Like, you're always, doing what's right for little kids. And you know what I mean? Like, I'm just saying, like, you just waiting for them to turn 18 so you could have like relations with them. Like, why are you so, I'm like, bro, I don't know if because you're drinking alcohol and this is why you're talking like that. But I'm like, yo, dude, you know me for a long time. Like, I'm like, those type of questions to me is very suspicious. I'm like, I told him right there, I pulled his cards right there and then, like, bro, I don't feel like those type of questions you shouldn't be asking me, dude. You know me for a long time. Like, you never know me to be in any type of scumbag. You never know me to doing anything for anything. You never know me for doing anything kind for anything in return. You know me for being a kind person to everybody, and I don't want nothing in return. That's how you know me for all the years you know me, dude. So that question to me, I'm like, that question seems out of the box. Like, I'm like, that's not a question you ask somebody that you know for a long period of time, dude. And mind you, I know this guy for so many years, and we done had so many conversations. So that's right there and then that day, I'm like, something is not right, And I went towards the ocean in the water because one of my other boys was in the water, and we went I went in the water behind him after the conversation. After I pulled his cards, he said, no, Lannie, it's not that serious. I was just curious, I'm like, that's not something you'll be curious about, dude. I'm like, that's just out the box. Like, that's the type of question you don't ask someone you know over a decade. You know me, dude. You know who I am. You know everything about me. We hanged out together for years. So a question like that, we spoke, we had a conversation for years. Like, a question like that to me is out the box. Like, I'm like, I don't know where this question is coming from or who is instructing you to ask me that type of question. I'm like, something doesn't seem right. At that time, though, I don't want to really get into a lot of shit, but at that time, I was involved in some things that, I don't like really speaking on. You know what I mean? But I was involved in some things that I don't like want to speak on. But at the end of the day, that's all in the past, So when he mentioned that to me right there, when he said that, immediately, things start coming into my head like this is just not this something is not right. So I walk to the water towards my boy and I'm like, oh listen, like this guy just started a conversation with me about if I'm being kind to kids because I'm waiting for them to get older to have relationship with them. And my boy was like, and we all boys, so my boy was like, what? He looked at me, he's like, no, he was like, yo, Lenny, you lying. He was like, you lying, Lenny. He said, Beep told you that. I'm not gonna mention the person's name, but he was like, he told you that for real. He was like, yo, Len, nah. He was like, yo, I was like, listen, bro, I swear on my dead grandmother's grave, dude. I was like, I swear on my grandmother's grave. And my grandmother is my heart, dude. I love my grandma. And people who knows me knows if I say I swear on my grandma's grave, I'm 100% accurate. I'm 100% in what I'm saying to you. So once I say I swear on my grandmother's grave, he's like, what? He's like, Len, he really asked you that? I'm like, listen, man. I'm like, listen, something is not right. I'm like, at the end of the day, I just want to tell you, whatever we involve in right now at this point, we got to step away, step back, or immediately just walk away. So that conversation in the water, he and my boy's like, nah, probably you're just tripping, bro. Probably, like it's all in your head. Like just chill. Don't, you're taking too much of this. It's not that serious. I'm like, let me tell you something, bro. It is that serious because we know each other for over a decade. We're all involved in something that's not right in the eyes of God and his family, first and foremost. We're involved in something that we know as human beings that it's not right what we're doing in the eyes of God and his family. So I'm like, in this situation, what we're in right now, after what this guy say, something is boiling. Somehow, something is cooking. And remember what I'm talking about, ladies and gentlemen. This conversation about the federal government. So keep that in mind. I'm just telling you a story. And this is all leading back to the federal government. So I tell my boy in the water, before we got out of the water, I'm like, listen, I think we really, really need to actually walk away or rethink how things are going and figure it out. And, cut some people out and, talk less and listen more. And so we left Long Island that day. We left the beach, long drive back up. We left the beach and everything. And from that day, though, I told my boy, I'm like, listen, tell all the other fellas, man, like, be cautious when they're with this specific person and always listen more than they talk when they're around him and try their best to not bring him around because I really think that something is not right with this guy. And mind you, at that time, we didn't know that he got pinched. He had got pinched. He had got picked up by the feds. We didn't know that. We didn't know that at all because the shit happened with him that he got pinched and 2 days later, they let him out because he signed paperwork willing to be a rat. He signed paperwork stating that he's going to work for the federal government. They're going to release him to do exactly what he was doing. But at that point, he's going to wear wires. So at that point, they was trying to get him to bury everybody. So I'll tell you exactly how I came and I found that out. So let's continue with the story. So after the beach, came back, whatever, a day later, that was still in my mind, still in my mind, dude. A day later, met up, talking, blah, blah, blah. And I just wasn't feeling comfortable after that day. I'll be honest with you. I wasn't feeling comfortable around this guy. I was never feeling comfortable after that. So a week passed, another week passed by. So the second time, we are in my car, me, him, and 2 of my other boys. We are driving to a seafood place because I love seafood, dude. That's I love seafood. But anyway, we was driving to a seafood place to eat some seafood. So we driving, and out of nowhere, he started talking about, yeah, Len, you remember when we went up to this place more, we buzzed that move? Let me tell you something. Whenever you're around people for so many days, weeks, months, years of your life. And once again, you know the type of conversation you guys are having. You know the type of daily conversation that take place within your circle. A lot of people don't pay attention to those type of things, but I was one of those people. Even to this day, I always pay attention to the conversations that's going on and to my surroundings every single day. You know, so he started bringing up things from 6 months ago. He'd start bringing up things from a year ago in the past. He'd start bringing up things that we did, that we bust moves and everything was fine. Nothing would happen. And so he was bringing up the past. When everything came down to it, he was bringing up the past to get me and everybody else that was in that car to admit, yes, we was a part of what happened 8 months ago. Yes, we was there. We was the one that everything, we was a part of it that happened 8 months ago. We was a part of what happened a year ago. And that was nothing bad, that we didn't hurt nobody or nobody got injured. No, we was, once again, the things that we was involved in, I don't want to basically put it, because I don't like talking about those type of things. That's in my rearview mirror. That's in the past. But we was involved in things that's not right in the eyes of God and his family. So once this guy started bringing up things from 8 months ago that we did, from 6 months ago, from a month ago that we did, and he's like, damn, bro. He's like, I'm an asshole. When he started talking about like, oh, I can't believe, dude, I made so much money doing this and that just blow my money, because at that time he had a drug problem. He was heavy into doing drugs, heavy, so all his money was going into drugs and girls. He was partying heavy, talking about this guy staying away 3-4 days out the week, just partying with different chicks, going to strip club, just blowing his money, blowing his money. So that's how he ended up getting caught up. But I'll get to that, what the part of him getting caught up. Let me do another set. So yeah. So immediately, once he started talking about the past, I'm like, no, something is not right. Something is not right. Something is definitely off. So I literally pulled over. I pulled over the car. I'm like, listen. I'm like, yo, bro, what's going on with you? I asked him, listen, we're all in the car. 4 of us are in the car, counting myself. So I pulled over the car, pulled over the highway, and I'm like, listen, dude, like, what's going on? I'm like, I know you for a long time, dude. Like, lately you've been acting weird. Like, whenever you come around me personally, like, because all of the other guys is like, oh, he's not talking like that when he's with other people, with the other guys. Like, he's just talking like that when he's around you. They told me that. So I was like, you serious? Like, he's not talking reckless around you guys and asking weird questions and stuff. It was like, nah, dude. It was like, he's just talking like that, I guess, when you were around. So that night in the car, I'm like, okay. I pull over. I'm like, listen, get out of the car, bro. We all got out of the car. I'm like, listen, at that point right there and then, I just searched him. I put my hand on his chest, and he's like, what are you doing? What are you doing? He was like, yo, Lennie, what are you doing, bro? You good? You good? I'm like, just be quiet. I'm like, be quiet. I just continue tapping him down, because at that point right there in the car, I knew exactly what I just immediately, I knew something wasn't right. So I tapped him down, open his pants, looking for wire, just looking for something. Opening his ears, took off his hat, searching his jeans, searching his t-shirt. I'm just looking for a why. I'm like, something is not right. Grab his phone, open up his phone, and he knows at that point, at that time, he knows to just chill out because it wouldn't end good for him. He knows at the end of the day, I'm pulling him out the car for a reason. He knows because I want him out the car, standing. If he want to throw down, let's throw down right there. So he know what type of person I am. So he just like, Len, what are you doing? What are you doing? I'm like, just relax. Tap him down, tap his back down, lift up his shirt, search his pants, nothing. So at that point, I just lost my appetite. I'm like, listen, man, I'm gonna drop you guys off. I got a couple of things I gotta do. So he's like, Len, what's going on, bro? Like, damn, we had plans to go out. Like, all of a sudden, you don't want. I'm like, listen, I'm good. I'm gonna go drop you guys off. You guys all have your own cars. I'm gonna drop you dudes off, and I gotta go. So at that point, that night, I started thinking, like, okay, there is something going on, and I'm involved. And I knew for 100% fact that the federal government had something to do with it. It was just, bro, it was just something told me right there and then, like, Lenny, this is the time it comes in your life. Like, you have to make a serious decision. Is either you keep walking this path that you know is not the right path, that you know every single day that you're not on the right path, you're not doing the things that God and his family put you on this planet for, that you're not doing what's right. You have to get off this path and completely change to become who God and his family created you to be. So after all of this, after that night, I'm like, okay, you know what? I'm seriously, after that day, seriously considering just distancing myself from everybody, but I'm like, you know what? I'm going to just gradually distance myself. I'm going to find out what's really going on because I know I'm not paranoid. I know in my head I'm not bugging out. I knew something was going on. So I'm like, listen, I told two of my boys the following week. He went out to Staten Island. He had went out to Staten Island with some girl to do some shit out there. So I told two of my boys, I'm like, listen, let's go hit up the strip club that this guy frequently visit. Let's just go out there. And my boys like, strip club is Lenny. We ask you every week to go out there, and you don't want to go. I'm like, yeah. I'm not going out there for no lap dance, none of that stuff. I just want to go out there and just meet the people that I know. Like whenever we go to this specific strip club, the girls that just immediately come up to us because these guys go there all the time. So I'm like, let's just go over there, like girls that and there was these two girls who constantly always, whenever we show up at the strip club, I never used to go all the time, but I went with them before. Like whenever I used to go, like I used to grab him specifically and go into a room with him. Like every strip club has those little private rooms where girls take you and you do whatever you do and you pay. Anyway, the whole bullshit. So I knew that. So I was like, nah, let's just go out there more. I have to talk to somebody. I have to figure this out. But I'm like, I know for a fact I'm not paranoid. I know for a fact something is wrong. I'm like in my road from since the beach. I know something is not right. Something is, I'm like, something is wrong with Beep. I'm not going to say his name. I was like, something is wrong with him, don't like something happened to him. I'm like, you guys didn't hear nothing happened to him. Did he get, I'm like, immediately, I'm like, did this guy get pinched? All of my boys, nah, then no, hells no. We would have heard about it. We would have known something is wrong. I'm like, yeah, but he goes on different places and do his own thing. So we don't know what this guy's doing constantly. We boys and everything, but yeah, he goes and do things on his own. So I'm like, you guys didn't heard nothing about this guy getting pinched or nothing by the feds or by the state or nothing. Nobody heard nothing. Nobody knew nothing. So I'm like, all right, I'm like, listen, something is not right. And all these guys are saying, no, you're just bugging, you're paranoid. He's like, then chill, just relax, and I'm at that point, I'm not doing no drugs. So they tell me, oh, Len, smoke. You got to calm down. You're like, you're tripping out. You bugging. No, I'm not, bro. I'm not. I'm like, I'm not. I'm like, I got this feeling in my gut, dude. Something is coming. I'm like, I got this feeling inside of me that something is coming towards us. And somebody around us is working to bring us down. No, Lenny, you crazy, dude. What are you thinking like that? You thinking negative, you bugging, you tripping out, this, you. I'm like, all right, let's just go to the strip club. It was a Saturday. I'm like, let's just go out there, dude. We went out there, like I said, 12:30, 1 a.m. in the morning. So we got there, got in. We knew the security that these guys go there all the time. So we knew the security guys, we go in, don't get searched, nothing, go in. So once we go in, like within 20 minutes, I seen one of the girls. So I called them, like, listen, come over here. Let me talk to you for a second. So she thought, she never knew me to, oh, let's go to the room. I'm like, no, no. I'm like, she's like, you want a date? I'm like, no, I don't want no date, mom. I'm like, listen, I come here just to have a conversation with you. You know what I mean? I want to talk to you about, I want to talk to you about my boy, such and such. Like, she was like, oh, is he okay? That I'm like, yeah, he's cool. He went to Staten Island to take care of some stuff. He's not with us tonight, but he went to Staten Island to do some shit, whatever. So she said, oh, yeah. She was like, what's wrong? What's going on? I'm like, listen, this was between me and you. Like, like he's acting weird lately. And like, I just want to know, like, did he ever tell you he got pinched? Or did he ever say something to you when you guys are in the room, when he's drunk, when he's drugged up? Did any words ever come out his mouth about getting pinched or getting any involvement with police? So she said, oh, you know what? My friend Stacy was telling me a story. She was like, well, give me a second. Let me go get her. She's doing a private dance. Once she's finished, I'm gonna tell her, go over there and talk to you. I'm like, yeah, tell her come on, let me talk to her for a second. You know what I mean? Tell her I got her too. Like, she's not gonna come here and stand for nothing, So she came over after like 20 minutes. She came over. And my boys is in front of me. They're getting lap dance. They're relaxing. They're just having the good old time, So she came over, whatever. So I'm like, listen, I know you're working. I'm not trying to hold up your time. Here's $50. I just want to talk to you for a couple of seconds. You know what I mean? I was like, here's $50. She's like, oh, you want me to dance with you? I'm like, no, I don't want nothing, bro. I just want to talk to you. And I don't want you. I know you're working. You're here to work. So I'm not trying to take your time for free. So I hand her $50. And I'm started talking to him. I'm like, listen, something is going on with such and such. And like, I know whenever he comes here, he takes you and her to the back room. And you guys, she's like, yeah, he loves to party. He comes here. We get high in the back. He buys bottles. He comes and he spends a lot. I know he's your boy, he's your friend, but he's really, really wild. He's a party animal. I'm like, yeah, I know he's a party animal. I know he's a crazy dude. He's wild. So I'm like, in any one of those nights when you guys is in that room when he comes there, like, did he ever mention to you anything about him getting caught up with police or with any type of police activities involving him? So she said, yeah, one night he was so twisted, he was drunk out his mind, and his phone kept ringing. And she's telling him to answer it. And then he told her, oh, it's this agent, it's a federal agent that's calling him that he was supposed to meet up with. She said he told her the person on the phone was a federal agent. Mind you, she said he was blasted out his mind. But he told her the phone that was ringing, the person on the phone, because she actually was like, oh, is your girl, your wife, go home. And he was like, no. He's a federal agent that actually had to meet up with him. She said, yeah, he told me he was a cop that he had to meet up with earlier. And he completely came here and he got blasted. So he didn't meet up with the cop. She said the person called him like 10 times. And she was the one that brought up the conversation. Like, why don't you go home? It's probably your wife. And he looked at it, he was like, no, it's not my wife. He's a federal agent. He's a cop. I'm supposed to meet up with him. So once she said that, my both boys is in front of me. Mine, they're hearing the conversation. Once she said that, I'm like, listen, I'm like, you're not bullshitting, right? And she's like, why would I lie to you? She's like, I swear, like, he came here. She was like, he came in like a month ago. And we was getting high in the room where, she's like, he parties hard. He comes with his stuff, because we don't get searched when we go to that place. When we used to go to that place. That place no longer exists. They changed it into something else. But anyway, we wasn't getting searched. So he was bringing in whatever drugs he was using. The security knew he was a drug addict, and he was buying bottles. So when you go into the strip clubs, buying bottles, doing bottle service, spending $2,000-$3,000 a night, they don't really care if you're doing drugs or not. So she's like, no, he can't, he's a party. He loved partying. He'll come, he'll spend $3,000-$4,000, plus he'll give us $1,000 each. Like, he comes to the party hard. So I'm like, yeah. I know he party real hard. I know his life story. I've been his friend for years. I know how he get down. So I just want to make sure that that you're accurate with what you're telling me. I just want to make sure you're not lying to me. She's like, no. She was like, hell no. She was like, I don't know why he had to meet up with the officer. I don't know what was going on. I didn't ask him, but he told me. She was like, I swear to you, he told me that he had, before he came here, he had to meet up with an officer and he forgot. And he came here and he got so high and so drunk. So he cannot go meet up with the officer no more. So he ended up staying there. She said he left at 3 something in the morning. He left driving. I'm like, he drove wasted like that? She was like, yeah, he left driving. She was like, once you're doing that, she was like, specifically when you're doing that drug and this thing, that it'll keep you up, it'll keep you wide awake. So he drove. I was like, okay. So right after that, dude, I took my boys. I'm like, listen, we out of here, bro. I'm like, let's go. We got in the car. I remember we got in the car. I'm like, all the phones that we have right now, garbage. At this point, every phone you have, turn it and throw it. Turn it off and throw it in the garbage. Throw it in the sea, throw it. Get rid of the phones immediately. Because that's how the federal government work. Mind you, ladies and gentlemen, this whole story time was about the federal government. That's how they operate. They will get your closest people next to you to bury you. Once they got the hook and the closest person next to you, they're going to use that person to bury you. So we dodged the bullet because we simply, at that point, I told myself and I told everybody else, I'm listen, we have better things we could accomplish in life. We could walk away from this right now and we could go towards a better life and never ever come back into this life. I'm like, I'm going to promise you guys right now, and you have to promise me because I love you guys, and I'm going to walk away from this life today. I'm going to go towards the life that God actually put me on this planet for. I'm going to do what's right in the eyes of God and his family. I swear to you, I'm not telling you a fairy tale story. I'm telling you a story time of my life. And I don't talk about stuff like that, because I don't like bringing up my past, but my past is what made me who I am today. So right there and then I said, I'm going to go on Monday and actually look for a job, a legitimate job, go and work, clock in, clock out, just live a normal life. I told my boys, do the same thing. I'm like, listen, all of the years we spent together every single day, all of the things we did together, just know I love you guys, but I'm going to distance myself from everybody for a couple of months, for a couple of years. I'm just going to distance myself, and I advise you guys to get legitimate jobs. And if you guys are going to continue to hang out, the money you're going to be spending, make sure it's legit money. Don't get yourself involved. Don't put one foot in and one foot out. Just completely walk away from everything. And just know from this day forward, if you don't stay away from this person, you know what's coming. So I will advise you guys to stay away as far away as possible, or just cut ties with him little by little, but just cut ties completely. I walked away. I walked away, and you see me sitting here today. But the story time was about how the federal government in the United States operate. So that being said, with the president, Mr. Donald J. Trump, giving the federal agency, ISIS, access to literally take whomever they want that's on parole and probation to get them deported. It's a due process that they have to go through, obviously. And a lot of people, when they do go through the federal system processing with judges, they don't win. They don't win. It's the federal system, the federal government has a very high rate of wins. I say 90% of time you go fight the feds in a case, they win. It's very rare. 10%, 15% of people do. You do beat the feds. There's a lot of people, John Gotti and the whole Gotti family, they done beat the feds several times. Mob stars. But those mobs, mind you, once again, these guys had everybody paid off. Judges, police officers, they had everybody paid off. So for them, beating a case is not like a person like me. I'm a black guy. Having a colored person going in front of a judge to beat a case in the feds, you have a better chance of winning the lotto. And I don't want to sound prejudiced towards saying that the judges in the federal system are racist, but I never heard about a colored person going in front of a federal judge with a case and coming out victorious after the sin that judge. I never heard about it. Probably people do. I never heard about a colored human being. Talking about black, Spanish, Asian. I never heard about a colored human being actually going to see A federal judge having a federal case and getting out with nothing. So I think the federal judge system is rigged? I don't think so. Mr. Donald Trump, if the system was rigged, he would have not been a felon. Mr. Trump is taking a hard stand on immigration, and what that law that he just put in effect today with deporting parolees and probationees, to me that is just cruel. That is just harsh. That's people already paid the consequences for their actions. And those are people that's actually trying to change their lives for the better. So I think going that route is just being very cruel to mankind. That just makes you look evil towards mankind. Because at the end of the day, Mr. Trump, I respect you, sir, as a human being. You say that you're a Christian, I'm a Christian. But as human beings, Mr. Trump, we're not perfect people. We're never going to be perfect. You as a sitting president in our White House in the United States of America, currently you're a sitting president with several felonies under your name. Mr. Trump, if you didn't have billions of dollars and incredible lawyers to back you up, you would have been another human being on this planet that don't have the financial needs and the financial capabilities to achieve what you achieved within your life. Mr. Trump, he was born into money. He was born into money. It's not something that you had to build on your own. He was born into money, and you just extended the money. You took a lot of risk with money that bankrupt you. You have to understand Mr. Donald Trump's story. Like, Mr. Trump was also bankrupt over 2-3 times. He was bankrupt, literally bankrupt. He invested money, the investment goes south, end up becoming bankrupt. So he took risk and he's lost in business as well. We all, as human beings, we do things sometimes is either we win or lose, but we are not perfect. If you would have stopped after the first bankruptcy, you would have never been who you are right now. If you would have stopped Mr. Trump after the second bankruptcy, you would not be who you are right now. You have to understand as a human being, and we are humans, bro. Let's be honest with each other. Let's talk as Christians. Let's have this conversation as Christian people, that people that actually believe in doing what's right in the eyes of God and His family. Let's have that conversation. You, as a sitting president, have several felonies on your rap sheet, and you give the okay for a federal agency to go in and arrest people that actually did their time, that are changing their lives for the better, but you give the federal agency, ICE, the authority to go in, get these people probation and parole dropped, and start the process to get them deported into a country that they probably haven't been for 30 years. In a country that they haven't been, that their family hasn't been there, their parents probably been died, they have no connection to. Because the average human being that's in America without paperwork, that's in any type of criminal activity, you will have to come here young. The majority of people here that's involved in any type of criminal activities in the United States that's undocumented, you don't come here as a grown man or grown woman and go and join a gang. You don't come to America as a grown man or grown woman and decide to be a bank robber. You don't come to America as a grown man or grown woman and decide to go rob people in the streets. You don't come here as a grown man or grown woman and to decide to be a drug dealer. Those are things, the majority of people in this country are immigrants. Those are things that they came to this country very, very young. And that was the mentality as a younger person. Now they got older and they realize, you know what? I done did a lot of dumb shit in my life, done. But they change. Mr. Trump, if you're not willing to give people a chance to become better, you as a Christian, Mr. Trump, you deserve a chance regardless of all the felonies you have in your name. You was found guilty by a judge, by a federal judge. Mr. Donald J. Trump, sir, you was found guilty over 7 times. Felony charges by a federal judge that you claim was a corrupted judge. You claim there was a bad, these people was trying to get you. How do you think a normal person without money who went through the same process is feeling? You have a lot of money, so you had the best representation. You had the best people to represent you, and you still was found guilty on several felony charges. I'm just saying, Mr. Trump, as a human being, as a Christian human being, as a godly man, why would you give a federal agency the right to go in and send people back to a country that they haven't been for 30 years, that committed a crime? Yes, they probably committed one felony and they did the time for that one felony. They did the time for that one felony and they'll continue doing the time by being on probation and parole. In the process of they doing the jail time or the prison time, they came out and they changed their lives. They became different. They became different people from in jail or in prison. And when they came out of that system, they decided, like, you know what, I have to go a different path. Why would you not give those people a chance to grow in and to become something better? My question is why? Mr. Donald J. Trump, if you didn't have the money you had, with all those felonies on your name, sir, you would have been in the federal prison system for years. Let's take a time out. Let's take a time out and stop thinking, okay, that's our president. That's our president. Yes, he's our president of the United States, but let's just take the time out and know, like, that's a human being. Mr. Donald J. Trump is a human being. Like every one of us, we're human beings. And without the money and the influence that he has right now, he would have been in the federal system doing jail time for decades. He was found guilty on over 7 felonies. Who do you know is being found guilty on 1 felony and not going to jail? Who? This man was convicted for over 7 felonies. And I'm not, once again, this is not a stream to bring and bash our president. I will never talk bad about our president. I'm just trying to show our president that he has to start making decisions and thinking about people as human beings. I understand the whole fact that you want to make America, you want to put America first. You want Americans to get the first opportunity to get the jobs. Mr. President Trump, no matter what you will do in the White House for the next 4 years, sir, you could deport 10 million people in this country that has no paperwork. And I promise you, Mr. President Donald Trump, the American citizens are still not going to get up to go work for $20. Mr. Donald J. Trump, you could bring up the minimum wage to $30, and you're still going to get the majority of Americans that's not willing to get up to go to work for the $30 an hour. Mr. Donald J. Trump, this country, United States, was built on the blood, sweat, and tears of immigrants. It's a fact. Mr. Trump is a fact. And I'm not telling you nothing, sir. You're a grown man. You could be my father. You could be my grandfather at this point. You're close to 80 years old. You could be my grandfather, sir, and I respect you. And whomever might see this video that has any type of relationship with you, so I don't want nobody to think that I'm saying anything bad about you in any way, shape, or form. You're a Christian, Mr. Trump. I'm a Christian. I'm just talking to you as a godly, loving person. A lot of decisions you made since you've been in office 4 days, I completely get your direction. I completely get where you want to go with the country. I completely get that. Let's put Americans first. I completely get that, sir. But no matter what you do, Mr. Trump, in the next 4 years, it's still not going to be good enough for the average American citizen. It's never going to be good enough. They're going to find something else to complain about. And the real fact of everything is the lazy mentality that the United States citizens have is what's holding them back. It's not because the immigrants want to work. It's not because the immigrants is willing to take a smaller paycheck. No, it's not none of that. Let's get to the serious, really the serious point of why American citizens are not working. Let's get to the nitty gritty of why American citizens rather stay home and complain about immigrants working. Let's get down to why. Mr. Donald J. Trump, 85% of American citizens are lazy. And this is not just colored American citizens. We're talking about colored American citizens. We're talking about Caucasian American citizens. We're talking about Asian American citizens. We're talking about every and all race and nationalities that's in America, that's an American citizen. Let's talk about the reason why the immigrants are taking the jobs. It's not because the immigrants are willing to just satisfy for a cheaper labor rate. No. In reality, Mr. Trump, you could bring the minimum wage to every job to $40 an hour. And Mr. Trump, the United States citizens are still going to find something to complain about. This is what people don't understand. And this is what politicians don't understand. You have to start looking at the bigger picture. There is endless work out there. There is endless work. You think a construction company is going to be like, okay, I'd rather hire you because you're an American citizen. I'm not going to hire somebody who's undocumented or who's somebody who did jail in the feds or who did jail in the state, who did jail time. I'm not going to hire them because you're an American citizen. And yes, you did jail time, but you're American. But guess what? I hire you for the same rate for $40 an hour. And you are not willing to, you're going to call out sick every day. You're going to call out sick 2-3 times a week. You're going to call out something is wrong every week. You're going to always have a problem. Any little thing happens to you, you're willing to quick to go sue. Mr. Trump, Mr. Donald J. Trump, the average American citizen in every job they have, they know how to manipulate the system. So every little incident that happened, they're quick to sue the owner of the company. You have the sexual harassment. You have the, oh, I tripped and I break my face. I can't come in now for 2 years. I can't work. I have to get work comp. The average American citizens are willing to complain their way through life because of laziness. Because it's 100%. It's 100%. We are sitting here talking about, okay, you know what, the president is trying to bring all the jobs back to American citizens and, you know, get rid of the immigrants. And once you get rid of all the immigrants, the illegal immigrants in America, everything now, the job market is going to open and more Americans are going to start working. The only people that's making all the good money right now is the federal agency by the name of ICE. That federal agency is the agents are getting super duper overtime. Now they're making $10,000 a month each agent. That's who is getting all the money in 4 years. In the next 4 years, that's the agency in America that's going to receive all the money. Still, the average American citizen is going to complain about working. What's going to be the next excuse after all the immigrants leave? After Mr. Trump and his administration get rid of 12 million immigrants. Now the job market should open, right? Right or wrong? You get rid of 12 million immigrants, guess what now? There should be jobs everywhere for American people. There should be jobs all over the place for the average American citizen. But I promise you, there's going to be something else after that. It's never enough for American citizens because American people feel entitled. Because they're Americans, they feel entitled to everything. Tell me if I'm bugging out. Tell me if I'm wrong. I am not wrong. Let's keep. I gotta do one more set of this exercise and switch it around. Let's go, baby. Ooh, 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 nice. Felt good. Felt real good. Yes. My point is, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls out there, I completely, once again, I respect our commander in chief. I respect Mr. Donald J. Trump. I respect every human being on this planet. I don't care who you are, regardless if I know you or not, I'm going to show you the utmost respect. Mr. Trump could be my father, he could be my grandfather. He's a grown man, and I'm going to respect him as a grown man. I'm going to respect him as a human being. I will never say nothing disrespectful to our president. Never. So if you're waiting to hear something from me that's going to be in a disrespectful way to our president, that's not what I'm not here for that. I don't talk disrespectful talk towards nobody. So I'm just here to shed light and to just have a discussion, a real discussion on what's the problem that we're facing in America. It's not about the immigrants taking all the jobs. It's going to be another issue after all the deportation. After the country spends millions upon millions of dollars of people having to get deported to go back to a country they haven't been for 30 years. A country that they have not seen, their whole family's probably passed away, and this is where they've been for 30 years of their lives. Started a family, but yet they did something wrong. Mr. President Trump, you cannot tell me, sir, that you never did nothing wrong in your life. Mr. Trump, we all have done something wrong in our lives. Mr. Trump, there is no human being alive on this planet right now that could say they never did something wrong. Mr. Trump, we all, as human beings, we're going to continue doing wrong. That's just how life goes. We are never going to be perfect people. Human beings are never, ever going to be perfect people, dude. The only thing that we could do as human beings, just every single day, keeping our mind to walk with God and His family. Walk with God and His family. And if we do make a little mistake with something, immediately retract what we did and make sure let's learn from it right there and then. Let's learn from right there and then. Nowadays, what I do and I consider to be mistakes, like, for instance, like I will be walking someplace, or I'll be in the supermarket, and like I will look in the aisle and I'll see like an elderly person in the aisle, and they're probably by themselves, and I don't go up to them and say hi and ask them if they need help. Like to me, like if you ever see somebody elderly, like pushing a cart or walking with a cane or something, like you should always just go up and just talk to them, like ask them how they're doing, how the day's going. That's something I always do. So when I pass up that opportunity, I always feel bad. I'm like, dang, I should have went up to that person. I should have went up to the elderly person and just asked them if everything is okay. Just go up to them and ask them. That's something we all should do for the elderly community. If you are out there and you see an elderly person that's walking by themselves and they have a cane, or they two elderly people, a husband and wife, or two elderly friends, it doesn't matter who it is. They have a cane, they're walking, they have something carrying heavy. Take the time out and go help. Take the time out and go help. We all should be doing that. Take the time out. It takes you 2-3 seconds to just walk up to people. Hi, how is everything? You guys are okay? I just noticed you guys are walking. I just want to take the time out to make sure you guys are fine. You guys know where you're going. So if you need me, I'll be over there. If you guys need any type of help at all, just wave your hand and I'll come right over. As a young person, we should all be able and willing to help the elderly couple, to help the elderly people. We should all be willing and able as younger people to help our grandparents' friends, our great-great-grandparents' friends. You never know. We're all connected by somehow. We're all connected. We don't know how we're connected, but we're all connected. We're all connected to me. We're all connected by God. We're all connected, dude. So it doesn't take a lot to be kind to somebody. Always show kindness. But to me, when I don't do stuff like that, I feel terrible. To me, like I made a mistake. Like to me, like, oh man, Like I don't, like to me, like I get mad at myself when stuff like that happens. That's who I am now. Like I get mad literally. If I'm driving and I see somebody on the highway or parked on the regular road on the residential neighborhoods, and I see they out the car and it's raining, they have the hood up or the trunk up, and I drive past. From once I drive past, immediately I'm just thinking about I should have stopped. I should have stopped. I should have stopped. You should have stopped and helped. Immediately, dude. And if I'm in the car with somebody else and they're, no, mind your business. I'm like, no, it's not about minding your business, it's about helping someone else when they need the help. Because you never know when you're gonna need help. That's how I live my life. I don't do it for nothing for nobody. I think we should always be kind to each other and get the blessing from God, not to be kind for anything in return. So whenever that's how like me now, that's how I am. I feel like every time I drive past or I walk past seeing somebody needing help and I don't offer my help, I feel like I'm doing something bad. That's just me. But my whole point is that we will never be perfect people. Like me, I feel like I'm supposed to stop and ask. I think we all supposed to stop and ask. No matter, you probably say, oh, yeah, Lenny, but there's so much bad people in this world. People is willing to hurt you for just asking a question. You know what? I'll take the risk every day just to ask someone if they're having a good day, just ask somebody if they need help. I'll take the risk, bro. I'll take the risk all day, just to ask if you need help. That me taking time to be kind, whatever comes. I'm not going to keep it, oh, this person could capable of doing this. Listen, I'm just trying to be kind. That's it. We should all be kind to each other, man. Bottom line is, but that's back to you, Mr. Trump. As human beings, sir, we're never going to be perfect people. We're never, ever going to be perfect. No matter what anybody around you might tell you. No matter what any of these ICE agents that's working, grabbing people left and right now, they're not perfect human beings neither. We are not perfect people. We'll never be perfect. We all make mistakes. We all go down the path in life that we did something wrong, that we regret and we wish we didn't do it, but we did it. I tell people all the time, don't regret your past. Learn from your past and make your past make you a great person. Don't never regret things that you did in your life. Don't be proud of it. No, that's a difference if you did bad stuff in your past, but now you're proud of what you did. No. You don't never be proud of doing things that you know that was not right in the eyes of God and His family. Don't never be proud of that, but don't live your life and regret. Don't regret those times in your life. Don't regret nothing that you did in your life. Good or bad. The bad times teach you and make you a better person. You have to learn from the bad times. You have to learn from the bad experiences in your life. You have to learn from the bad directions that you went into. You have to, these all learning lessons. So my whole thing when I heard about that today, I'm like, dang. I'm like, not for nothing. That's very, very cruel. That's evil. Like, that people who actually went in and did the time in jail or in prison and then actually came out after years, months, who knows how long, but they came out and they actually try to change their lives. And now they found out today that they could get deported. I understand, or you come to a country, don't do bad things, and especially a country you wasn't born in. Listen, bro, I don't care who you are, bro. The amount of Americans that go to other countries and do bad things in other countries, we don't hear about it. Let's keep it real, man. The amount of Americans that go to European countries, go to Asian countries and do bad things and claim I'm American. The American government is going to come and get me. Like, stop it, man. Like, human beings are never going to be perfect people, dude. It's not just people coming to America and doing bad things. It's always going to happen. The amount of Americans that leave America and go to other countries, other people countries, and do terrible things. We don't hear about it on the news. We don't hear about it because they commit a crime, they come right back to America. They don't ever have to go back to their country. They come right back to one of the greatest countries in the world, so they get away with the crime. But the average person who is in America who committed a crime, they don't want to go back to another country. They want to stay here. They want to, face the consequences of their actions, but continue living in the country to better their lives, to actually change their lives to become better people. You might call me, you can call me a piece of shit, but I think that's cruel all day. I think that's cruel to the max. That I think is very cruel. Let's go. Those back exercises I'm doing, man, you could do them, bro. It's very good for you. Your lats. This bend over rows right here, top of the line, baby. And you have two, you could do it two ways. I'm gonna do it both ways. So you could do it like this, straight, up. Or like this. Which is I'm gonna do this after, but it's another grip. But just have to turn your wrist and get it on. Yeah, man. Guys, every day I speak to you from my heart. You know, and this stream, this live streams is not about talking bad about people. It's just I like talking from the perspective as a godly person. I like talking on the perspective of let's be good to each other. You know, a lot of people who probably see the stream and they're probably like, this guy's talking nonsense. You know, the president is right. Get them all out of the country so American people could get the jobs. Okay, no problem. Listen, get them all out of the country so American people could work. They're getting out of the country. So there's jobs right now that American people could go get. Why they're not going to get it? Amazon is always hiring. Amazon don't care who you are. Amazon is always hiring. What's wrong? Go. There is so many companies, American companies, that's hiring every day. Guess why? Guess why? The American citizens are not going to get those jobs. Guess why? It's not enough money. And they're going to sit back and be like, oh, why am I going to go do this job for this amount of money? Listen, that's what the company is paying. You think because you're an American citizen that Amazon is going to raise the pay rate because you're American? Let's get something clear, people. You think that Amazon, all of a sudden, 1 million, 12 million people get deported from America right now, and Amazon has to fill the warehouses with workers again. A couple of people who was working for them got deported. I'm just drawing an example. And Amazon now, they need 100,000 employees. You think because the 100,000 employees are going to be American citizens, you think the pay rate is going to go up? You're out of your mind. If you think the pay rate that Amazon is paying right now is going to all of a sudden is going to go up because only American citizens are going to be working in the warehouse, only American citizens are going to be driving the trucks, only American citizens, you think the pay is going to go up? You're out of your mind, dude. My whole point is every single day Amazon is hiring. You need a job as an American citizen. Amazon is hiring right now. What is the reason why you guys are talking and trashing immigrants and saying this and saying that about immigrants, that because of immigrants, you guys are American citizens are not working? How? How is that possible? Companies are hiring every day. You think Mr. Jeff Bezos and everybody in the higher up on Amazon, in the higher ups on Amazon, is going to all of a sudden raise the pay rate because the American citizens are coming to work every day? In every business, in every company all around the world, the business owners do not get in business to lose. If you guys out there don't know how business work, here is a one-on-one on business. If you go into business, you're not going into business to lose. Every business, every company, every corporation has a cap monthly that they have to reach for the payroll, for the utensils, for everything in the company, the lights, the water, to pay everybody for anything that need fixing. They have a cap that they have to meet every month. That's the money to fix everything. That's the money for the payroll. That's the money to fix the trucks. That's the money. That's where that stop. So if you think as an American citizen that you deserve to get more money. So you think now Amazon is going to bring up the cap level. So Jeff Bezos and everybody else is going to take a cut. They're going to take less money for profit because you're an American citizen. let's let's be honest, bro. You think Mr. Bezos and everybody else that's involved in Amazon is going to take a less profit because you're an American citizen? They should all of a sudden have the cap at 40% because now we only have American citizens employed. We're going to take the cap to 40% and make it, you know what? Make the cap 50%. So we get a little bit of less profit. Let's make it so we get a little less profit for us and give the money to the American people. You think Mr. Jeff Bezos and everybody else is going to agree with that? Are you crazy, bro? It's not, the problem is not about who is working. These companies all have a cap to meet every month. It's not about, that's why they offer you a set rate, hourly rate. If you're working for them for a certain amount of years, they will offer you a commission. They will offer you basically a weekly salary. It's three ways you get paid from these companies. You could get a salary, a weekly salary as a manager, general manager, whatever it is. Or you could get an hourly pay rate. Or you could work off a commission. But at the end of the day, ladies and gentlemen, the hourly rate does not go up or go down based on your immigration status. It don't. So you guys talking about, yes, deport people and get people out of America because an American citizen can't get a job. The immigrants is taking all the jobs. Excuse me? Apple is an American company. The Apple phone, the iPhone that people goes crazy for every year. Every year they come up with a new iPhone. And then guess what? The charger from the old iPhone cannot charge a new iPhone. You have to buy new chargers. You have to buy everything brand new. Every year, Apple comes out with those phones. Who do you think make and manufactures those phones? What country do you think those phones are made to ship to America to be sold for $1,500? It's not in America. So that's why I said, what country? Definitely not America. Why you think Apple, as $1 billion company, is outsourcing the work to other countries? Why do you think that? Oop, 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 oop. Time's up. Because of profit. The heads up in Apple know, if we bring our company to the United States to make our phones, to make our products in the United States, now our profit margin, which is 60% profit margin, now to work out the United States, we're going to have to come down to 30% profit margin. You think a CEO is willing to take 30% because when he could get 60%, you think he's willing or she's willing to take 30% because you're an American citizen? Let's get serious, man. Let's get serious. If you sitting back there thinking that Apple is going to bring and make iPhones in the United States of America, you're out of your mind. You're going to continue paying the $1,500 for each phone from Apple every year. You're going to keep paying for the phone, keep paying for the charger, keep paying for everything separate from Apple every year, and the phones will never be built in America. It's never going to happen. The CEOs is not willing to get a pay cut because American citizens need to make $100,000 a year. It's not going to happen. So let's stop blaming people who actually want to work. The true fact is the United States citizens are lazy. That's the true fact. People don't want to say. People just want to just be like, oh no, the president is right. The president deported these people. Well, we need the jobs. We can't get jobs because of them. No, there's jobs everywhere. Construction companies are always hiring. You want to work construction right now, you could go to any construction company and you got the skills, they're hiring you on site. Construction companies are always looking for new employees every single day. But you think because you're American citizen, the construction companies are paying $30 an hour, $20 an hour as American citizen. Oh, if the immigrants will leave, and the immigrants that are trying to work for the $20 an hour, if they will all leave and get deported, the construction company overnight will bring it up to $30 because guess what? They're not going to find nobody to work for them. Let me tell you something, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls out there. The typical construction company owner is going to just shut the business down, start something else. That's it. You think because you're an American citizen, these people are going to cut into their profits to make you rich. And you don't get into business to be broke. A construction company who takes millions of dollars in loans to get equipments to operate the business, to operate the company. You think construction companies just come up and they get all those trucks for free, and 95% of construction companies are built on the backs of banks. Banks, 100%. B-A-N-K-S, banks. 95% of construction companies. All those construction companies that you see building the big buildings, these people take loans, millions upon millions of dollar loans from banks that they have to pay back. So you think a construction company is going to be willing to be like, okay, Mr. Donald J. Trump deported everybody, took all the immigrants away, and we was offering everybody $20. The same $20 they was offering everybody, whoever is willing to work, you're going to make $20. You're going to make $30. Whatever they're paying, that's what you're going to make. So, okay, Mr. Donald J. Trump deported everybody. So now the construction company need 100 people, 100 new people to come to work. You think, okay, you're telling the CEO of the construction company, okay, listen, we're all American citizens. Here is our birth certificate. Here is our passport. We're all American citizens. Okay. They'll tell you, all right, I'm looking for employees. I'm looking for people. We are paying you $30 an hour. We don't care about the birth certificate. We don't care about the passport. We care about you building this building. We care about you building this house. We care about you building the road. That's our bottom line. Ladies and gentlemen, that's how it works. And nobody goes into business to stay broke. 95% of companies, 99% of companies in the United States are not willing to cut in the profit margin to make you or me happy because we're American citizens. It doesn't work like that. They start the businesses and they know exactly. It all comes down to numbers. So before they start the business, before they hire the first person, they know exactly, listen, we have a cap that we have to meet every month. We have to pay back the bank this amount of money. We have to pay ourselves this amount of money. We have to pay the employees this amount of money. And we have to have the expenses for the trucks to be fixed. We have to just, God forbid, the truck break down. We need mechanics. It's all budgeted out. From the beginning of the company, from the start of the company, everything is budgeted out of everything, how everything is going to work. So you think because you're going to come with your American birth certificate, your American passport, all of a sudden now, guess what? This company they're going to change the numbers. They're going to change the cap, the monthly cap, because now we have 100 American citizens at the job site. You're delusional. You people told me, but there is no jobs. There is jobs everywhere. The point is you don't want to work for the money that's been paid. You think getting rid of the immigrants is going to bring the money up. The money's not going nowhere. The money's not going up. The profits are not going to be less for the owners of these companies. The owners of these companies are not taking less money to hire American people. Bro, you bugging, bro. You people are delusional, bro. Delusional. Ooh, I feel good. I feel real good. Listen, at the end of the day, this is not about I cannot find a job. No, this is about American citizens are lazy. That's all it's about. American citizens are they are very entitled because they're Americans and they go to other countries as well and misbehave in other people's countries. And immediately when they get in trouble, I'm American, the government is gonna come get me. Bro, I can it's not something I could just see happen and don't say nothing about it. It's not fair. It's not fair. It's cruel. It's cruelty. Like what Mr. President Trump did today is not. It's cruelty. It's very cruel that you're giving a federal agency, the ICE, you're giving ICE permission to go and arrest people that's on parole and probation. That's cruel because people that's on parole and probation, they already face the consequences for their action. The people that's on parole, they already did jail time. They're already trying to change their lives. You know, it's cruelty. It's just not. It's just not humane. It's just not. It's not humane, dude. We are human beings, dude. I think we deserve to treat each other with respect, dude. We deserve to give each other a chance. You know, Mr. President Trump, if you didn't have money, you would have been just an average Joe with several felonies on your name. How would you want people to treat you? You know, this is just don't. This is not about you having money. Money is printed every day. This is not, this is, you said that you're a Christian. You said that you're a godly person. And the things that you've been doing for the past 4 days, Mr. Trump, it does not make you look very cruel. It makes you look like a very mean person. Like it makes you look a very bad-minded person. Because you're giving an agency the rights to arrest people that already face the consequences for their actions. And that's you're arresting people that's actually attempting to change their lives, and people that have been here for years and years of their lives, and you just giving an agency the power to just get them and send them back to a country they haven't been for 30 years. And there's a lot of people out there that probably see this and they laugh about stuff like that, like, oh yeah, get rid of them. Yeah, why not get rid of these people? They come here and they just want to do bad things. They want to take all the jobs. You're going to be mad at people that come to America to work because they want to work and make money to help their families, to help themselves. You want to be mad at those people for actually getting up at 6, at 5 in the morning to go take the train, take the bus, no matter what's the weather, to go do construction, to go build the roads, to go, like, you want to get mad at those people because there is no jobs? There's always jobs. Construction companies are always hiring. The road building companies are always hiring. The plumbing companies are always listen, all those hard working jobs, they're always hiring people every day. American citizens are not willing to get up and go make the money that's paid, that's there, the companies are paying because they think they're entitled to more money. Let's be honest and keep it all the way. Let's be honest and tell exactly what's going on. Mr. Trump is being hearing that people, Americans cannot get jobs. Mr. Trump and his father, yes. You tell me Mr. Trump's father never used immigrants to build the buildings when he was alive? You tell Mr. Donald J. Trump right now, all the casinos that he built, all the golf courses that he built, all the hotels that he done built and invest money into. You're trying to tell me there was no majority of these people was immigrants that was working on those buildings, working on the golf course and all that stuff? You don't think the majority of people is, you're serious, bro? Come on. You done made billions of dollars, Mr. Donald J. Trump, for the hard work of immigrants, or for the blood, sweat, and tears of immigrant people that came to this country for a better life. You done made billions of dollars over these people's hard work. Who you think build those golf courses? Who you think build those hotels? Majority of construction companies. You look at the roster, the roster, basically the employees in the construction site. You see majority will be immigrants. It's 100%. Majority of construction jobs is being taken by immigrants. People that's actually coming to this country to work their ass off every day. Go up high up in the ceiling, go high up in the air. God forbid if they fall, they're willing to take the risk to build the 100-story building, you know. But yet these people are being treated like nothing. I understand, completely understand the ones that out here raping, doing selling drugs, just the ones that's doing bad things. You know what? If they're not facing the consequences, if they're not willing to change and be better people, yes, get them out. But the people here that's actually on parole, that's did the jail time for whatever they did wrong, and actually came out and now on parole, changing their lives with American kids, and now they have to go through a whole court process. After they already went through a whole court process, they already was jailed for what they did. Now they have to go through another court process. But that court process, if they lose, 100% they're getting deported. They're out of here immediately. And those court process, if you don't have money for a bail, because you could still get bail in the federal system. If you go, the ISIS pick you up and now you have an open case with ISIS, they could still recommend bail. You have a good lawyer, they could get you to bail out. If you don't have bail money, guess what? You don't have a good lawyer. You have to sit in there until that whole case, that whole process finished. If they find you guilty, you're back on a plane within 24 hours and going to a country you have no idea about. That's, as a Christian person that I am, I believe all mankind deserve a chance. I think people who come to a country or go, I think people who is doing anything towards a better life deserve a chance, man. I think anybody who is looking towards a better chance, anybody that's getting up every single day and looking towards a better life, I salute them. You know, a lot of us don't have the money to put ourselves in a position of power, because that's what it is. The world is so corrupted. Having a lump sum of money puts you in a great position of power. Great position of power. Even before Mr. Trump became a president, you know, Mr. Trump had power. He had a lot. He was in a position of power because he had a lot of money. You know, that's what money does. Money is printed, but the world is so corrupted these days that, you know, if you have a good amount of money, you know, that you could put yourself in a position of serious power. It's very easy to put people in your pocket when you have money. Very easy. Because a lot of, I'll say 85 to 90% of human beings are willing to do whatever it takes to fill their pocket with money. I'll say 85 to 90% of human beings are willing to do whatever it takes to fill their pocket with something that was printed from a machine. They're willing to do anything for it. So the federal government use it to their advantage. The average Joe that's a multimillionaire use it to their advantage. Whoever has the money, they use it to their advantage for everything, for the power. They use it towards their advantage for the power. You know, that's how the power comes, you know. So it's unfortunate, but it's just the world we live in, brother. Oh. Oh. Man, I hope every day that we could all come together and live in peace, you know. And I'm gonna always keep hoping for that. I'm always keep hoping for a better world and a better life for all. That's just me being a Christian, you know. So if you guys just join the stream, my name is Lannie. I'm a personal trainer in the New York State area. You know, if you guys live in the tri-state area meaning that you live in New Jersey, Queens, I mean you live in New Jersey, Connecticut, or any part of New York State, and you're looking for a personal trainer, man, I'm willing to drive out to your location if that's something you can afford. If that's something that could work into your budget monthly, I'm willing to drive out to your location, to you closest to your gym, to your property if you have a home gym, and we could work out, you know. So that's what I do. I'm there to help you with the motivation you need. I'm there to help you with the meal prep. I'm there to help you with the techniques in the gym, to gain the muscles that you're looking to gain, to burn the fat around your arms, your bicep, triceps, you know what I mean? To burn the fat in your upper chest, the stomach fat, to burn the leg fat. I'm there. So I'm doing this live stream till the end of June. I'm gonna continue doing it because I enjoy it. And every day I come on the stream, I just talk about what's trending in the news. And for the past 4 days, I've been talking about Mr. Donald J. Trump, not in a negative way, because I will never talk about anybody negative, especially our president. I have the utmost respect for Mr. Donald J. Trump and his family. Mr. Trump could be my father. He could be he's somebody I respect highly. And this is not a conversation about him in a negative way. It's just every day that he do something from since he's been in office, I just like having a discussion about it. Today's discussion is about the law that he just passed today, stating he gave authority to the federal agency ISIS to grab people that's on probation and parole, people that been in the United States for 20 something plus years, 30 years, and they actually did something wrong and they actually went and did the jail time, the prison time, and came home, and now they're on parole, they changed their lives. Talking about people with kids. Now they have the authority to ICE have the authority to arrest those people, and send them back to a country they haven't been for 30 years. So that's what we're discussing today. Well, that's what I'm discussing, so, and to me, that's just cruelty. That's just how I look at that situation. To me, that's very cruel because I don't think it's necessary to break up a family, bro. I don't think so, man. I don't think so. Mr. Trump, God forbid, sir, your wife came to America as an immigrant, Mr. Trump. Jared mother is an immigrant. Like, God forbid, Mr. Trump, that you was in a situation that you were in. You didn't have money. God forbid, Mr. Trump, you was not born into money. God forbid you were just a regular Joe that met a pretty woman. You fell in love with her. You have a kid with her. All of a sudden, Mr. Trump, she did something, commit a crime. She's not an American. And now she has to go back to a country where she left that country to come to America for a reason. Everybody that leave where they was born to come to another place for it's a reason they come. They're trying to have a better life. So to you, Mr. Trump, if that Jared mother would commit a crime and instead of them giving her a chance to better her life, they'll come pick up in the middle of the night from your house. And now they're sending Jared mother back in a plane. How would you feel? I tell people all the time, man, treat people the way we like to be treated. Let's just take a second. Let's just take a time out and think about our own family. And I'm bringing up his wife, and that, once again, this is not no disrespect to you, Mr. Trump, and your family. Not at all, in no way, shape, or form. I'm just bringing up an example because you're married to an immigrant. Your wife is an immigrant. Jared mother, your son's mom is an immigrant. So I'm just bringing up as an example of the things that's going on right now, the people that's getting separated from the children, the people that actually have American kids that now he's having to get deported and to go back to a country, and it takes up to 5 years to file paperwork, to file documents, to ever come back. Whenever you get deported, it takes 5 years. For people who don't know, if you get deported from America for anything, it takes up to 5 years to ever file any type of paperwork, to even if to get a visa to come back to America. It takes up to 5 years. So imagine you have kids who you raised from little babies. You raised those kids. Now they're 6, 7, 8, 9, 10 years old. And all of a sudden, as a father who's been working, taking care of the kids, and as a father who did 2, 3 things bad in his younger days, so what? We all do bad things. We all make mistakes in life. We all make mistakes. You think because Jared has been brought up in a nice house, Jared has been, in a perfect home. Jared is not perfect. None of you kids, Mr. Trump, is perfect. No matter how they was being brought up, we do things bad in different ways. Thank God your kids was not brought up in a way that they could do something bad being drug dealers. They could do something bad with drugs. They could do something bad committing a crime by robbing some. No, they was brought up the right way, but still, doesn't matter how you bring up your kids. They're going to find some way to do something wrong. As human beings, we're not perfect. They're going to find some way to do something that's not right. You have to give the leniency to people because as humans, we are never going to be perfect. And I'm mentioning Mr. Trump's family, not in a bad way. I'm just trying to prove a point. You have to treat people the way you want to be treated in life. Jared Moms is an immigrant. God forbid the tables was turned. God forbid you was an average Joe with no money. And your wife committed a crime. Now they're coming to take her away from Jared. Jared is grown. Yes, he's a grown man now, but still. They're coming to take her away from him. Now he has to go travel to go visit his mother in another country. It's just cruel to me. That's just cruelty. That cannot come from a man that says a godly man. That cannot come from a Christian. As a Christian human being, you have to know that we have to stick together. We have to treat each other the right way. As a Christian, we have to know that we're all God kids. We all deserve to be treated with respect. As Christians, we need to know that. I understand you're taking a tough stand on immigration, but think about your family. Think about if your family was in that situation. Think about if you was an average person without all that money you was born into. You was born into money. All your kids was born into money. Your kids never had to find out and figure out how to make money. They was born into money. Your family has a different life from the average family that's growing up in the Bronx, from Brooklyn and Queens and Staten Island and in Long Island. Your kids was brought up differently. Your kids was brought up with privilege. Your kids was brought up with people driving them to school, picking them up from school. Your kids was brought up with security around them. Your kids was brought up with the best life, but still, I'm pretty sure none of your kids are perfect. You cannot say your two grown sons or your grown daughter, they're all perfect kids. They're not, bro. They're not. Nobody in this world is perfect, dude. Nobody on this planet, on this earth is perfect. And once again, Mr. Donald J. Trump, I'm not saying these things to be disrespectful to you or your family, sir. I'm just trying to prove a point that we all need to be treated with respect. We all have family. We all would like to be treating other people the way we would like people to treat our family. Just forget about the money. Money is paper. Money was printed on a machine. Money is printed every single day on machines. Let's think about mankind. Let's think about humanity. Let's think about just being good to each other, man, because without being good to each other, this world will never work. This is more than, this is not about, oh, American people cannot find jobs. This is hell no, it can't be about jobs. It can't. It can't do. All these people are putting on social media, on the internet, oh, give their jobs to the Americans, bro. Please, dude. The average American are lazy. That's why they don't want to work. They're lazy. They're entitled. American citizens are entitled, lazy people. Straight like that. I don't care what nobody think about me. You could hate me for saying this, but it's 100% accurate. I'm 100% accurate. 95% of American citizens are lazy. And I'm talking about the colored American citizen, the Caucasian American citizens, the Asian American citizens, bro, every and all race, shape, nationalities that's American citizens are lazy. That's why they're complaining about, oh, there's no jobs. What are you talking about? Amazon is hiring every day. Oh, they're hiring the rate they're paying that low rate because they're only hiring immigrants. Immigrants are willing to settle for that low rate. Okay, Mr. Trump deport all the immigrants. Now all the job is going to be taken by American citizens. You think Amazon, you think Jeff Bezos and them is going to raise the rate pay because you're you stop it, man. Stop it, bro. You're delusional, bro, thinking that these people are going to raise the rate because you're an American citizen. You have the right to make $20 more than what they're paying. Yeah, okay. Keep staying in your house, playing video games and think that's going to happen. Okay. Just keep staying home, blaming others for your life choices. Keep staying home, blaming other people that you can't find a job, you can't work, you can't make $100 an hour. Yeah, keep blaming others. See what happens at the end of the day. As you can tell, I turned my wrist. Little technique, but very, very effective for your back, for your lats. You want to spread your lats out. Do that. Do those exercises, man. It's really good. Really, really good. Yeah, man. But Mr. Trump, I respect you, sir. I respect your family. I bring up Jared because Jared is basically your only child that was born with an immigrant wife. Your other kids, all your three other kids has American mothers, American born mothers. So and I don't, Jared. Once again, I respect you, dude. I know there's nothing. I'm not bringing up your name in a disrespectful way, not at all. I respect your father. I respect your other two older brothers. I respect your sister. I respect your family, sir. In no way, shape, or form. I'm just trying to talk to your father as a Christian. I'm a Christian. I'm pretty sure all of you guys are being raised as Christian kids. So I'm just trying to talk to you guys as a God-loving Christian person. That's it. There's no disrespect intended, absolutely none. None at all. None, no disrespect to nobody. No disrespect to the agency, the ICE agency, to the federal ICE agency. No disrespect to none of the federal agents that's doing the job. No disrespect at all. You guys have a job to do. You guys have a family to feed as well. Now is your time to get overtime and make a lot of money. Why not? Go out and do your job. This is not talking bad about absolutely nobody. The federal agency, ISIS, they have a job to do. They was told what to do and they have to go out, deployed and do the job. That's how everybody make money doing different things. That's how they make money. I'm pretty sure all the ICE agents don't agree with certain things that's going on, but you know what? It has to go down. You know what I mean? You will say, oh yeah, well, if you're an ICE agent, you know that your job is to deport people. Your job is to get illegal people out of the country. Yeah, that's mainly your job as an ICE agent. But it's you get the job and you take the job to arrest the bad people, the people that just constantly doing bad stuff. Those are the people that you become an ISIS agent to go after. Those are the people that you be like, yes, like this person, man, in and out of jail. We give them several chances to change their lives, and they're not changing. They just keep doing bad things, worse and worse and worse. You know what? Let's figure this out. So those are the people, yes. But the average Joe that made a mistake 2, 3 times, that when they was younger, and now they got older and they changed their lives and they have kids, and like those are the people. I'm like, listen, man, don't destroy a family. Don't let a little kid grow up without their mother. Don't let a little kid grow up without their fathers. Don't let the parents get deported and then the state has to raise the kids and the kids has to go to foster home, because right now, God forbid, the ICE agent go into a house and they go after the father they go after a man, and now they go into that house and they start asking everybody for identification. So now they ask his wife for identification, for a social security number, and his wife cannot provide a social security number. Guess what? Now the wife is going out. They're going to arrest the wife and they're going to investigate what type of person is that wife. And who knows? Wife and husband, now there's 2 kids in that house. Now the kids have to grow up in foster home, or the kids have to go to some aunt or some uncle that they don't even get along with. Why? That's the type of things that I'm trying to just. I know my words don't mean nothing. I know that. Listen, I'm just talking my piece. I'm just saying my piece. I'm just saying stuff that, once again, as a Christian, that I think that I have to say, regardless who take it into consideration, regardless if you never ever reach back to the federal government, to the president, no, it doesn't matter. I'm just talking my piece, and whoever want to take it, take it. So it's nothing disrespectful at all. I just think that we have more things to worry about in the United States than immigration problems. We have way bigger things to fry. We have way bigger fishes to take care of, man, because, as the main thing, a lot of American citizens is talking about, there is no jobs. The immigrants are taking all the jobs because they're willing to take a lower rate pay. There is so many American companies right now that's already outsourcing the jobs to other countries, because it all comes down to profits. It all comes down to you get into business, and before you even start the business, you already figured out all the numbers. You already figured out everything that has to be spent, everything that has to be profited. You already the numbers is already taken care of before the business start. Before the first employee is hired, they know exactly what the payment is going to be hourly is going to be to every employee. It's already written down. The numbers is the first thing that every company goes after. Let's get the numbers together, so we know exactly how much money is the payroll, how much money goes on the equipment, how many money goes on upkeeping the equipment, how much money goes on medical, Medicaid, and stuff like that with healthcare. How much every company goes down the budget before they start a business, because they have to know, like, okay, after spending this amount of money, are we still going to be in a profit? Are we still going to make this? It all comes under profit. So you guys are thinking that, okay, every year Apple comes out with a new phone. Apple's companies are not there. The stores and everything that sell the products is in America, yeah. But you think Apple phones are made in America? Absolutely not. It's outsourced to another country. Microsoft, Mr. Bill Gates, a great American man. That man does a lot. He gives back a lot due to charity. That's one man, and my uncle, Mr. Warren Buffett. Those two human beings, you could never say nothing bad about Mr. Bill Gates and Mr. Warren Buffett. Never. Those men gives back so much money to charity and to the poor communities every year. Every year, these guys give away millions and millions of dollars. Some people say, oh, they do it for tax reasons. It doesn't matter what reason they do it. They give away millions of dollars to charities to help other people. So salute to Mr. Bill Gates and to my uncle, Mr. Warren Buffett. Absolutely. So back to what I was saying, ladies and gentlemen. At the end of the day, I think Microsoft is built. I think the Microsoft computers and laptops and tablets, those stuff are built in America. No, they're not, dude. No, they're not. No, they're not, dude. Majority of Microsoft stuff comes from India. You know what I mean? Like majority and all of Apple stuff comes from China. And those are billion-dollar companies. You know what I mean? Like Tesla. You think Elon Musk that jumping around, running around with Mr. President Trump? Yeah, that man is a billionaire as well. But you think Tesla's is made only in America? Are you kidding me? There's places in China that they make Teslas. Every company goes outsource a lot of the work because of cheaper labor. Because you don't get into business to stay broke. You don't build a business to be broke for the rest of your life. You don't build a business, okay, you know what, I know Americans is going to charge $50 an hour. Why am I going to open this company and have to pay $50 an hour to American citizens when I could outsource my company, when I could outsource my stuff, my work to another country that's willing to take way, way less than $50? You're outsourcing your work to other companies that where $1 is $1,000. So you outsourcing you outsourcing your work to different countries. In China, $1 is a lot. In India, $1 is probably like $1,000. So like you outsourcing to those people and you're telling them you're going to pay them $20 an hour, $30 an hour. When in America, these people is willing to take $50 an hour for the work. You think the companies are going to leave the work, stay in America? They're not. They're not, dude. So it doesn't even matter about the immigrants. It's about, listen, if you want to work as an American citizen, you're going to have to start your own business. You're going to have to start your own companies. Because at the end of the day, Amazon founder is not going to up the pay rate because he's only going to hire American citizens. Jeff Bezos and whoever else is involved in Amazon payrolls and stuff like that. Whoever is the uppers in Amazon, whoever does the decision, make the decision in the payroll and stuff like that. You think they're going to say, okay, I got 100 American citizens working for me right now. Like we have to do something with the payroll. We have to up the pay rate. No, bro, you crazy. For that, they shut down the warehouses. For that, you know what? We can't find workers for this warehouse at this price. Let's just shut the warehouse down. It's never going to change, dude. It's not an immigrant problem. It's not, dude. It's a lazy American problem. That's what it is, bro. It's American people are lazy. I don't care what nobody say, dude. American people are 100 just lazy, dude, and they blame it. Oh, there is no jobs. We can't find work. Immigrants are taking all the work for a lower pay. Yeah, sure. We're gonna see in 1 year. No immigrants. Let's see what's the excuse now. In 2025, what is gonna be the excuse? The immigrants are gone. They all get deported. What's gonna be the new excuse in 2025? In 2026, I'm saying. Sorry. What's gonna be the new excuse in 2026? A whole year pass. Now the jobs is open for everybody. What's gonna be the new excuse? Who's who's gonna be left to get deported? What's gonna be the new excuse? Tell me. Okay, that's what I thought. The new excuse. I can't wait for 2026. I can't wait. What's gonna be the new excuse for the American citizens? If the biggest excuse right now is that the companies is giving the jobs to immigrants because they're taking a lower rate pay. Okay, so now the immigrants they're gone. So now the construction companies now is magically going to raise the hourly rate because only Americans is only willing to work. Okay. You think this the CEO for construction companies willing to stay poor because he want to make American people rich? You're out of your mind. You you people are jokes, though. You don't understand business. You people really don't understand business. The people that sit at home talking that nonsense about we can't find work in America. The immigrants are taking the jobs because they're taking a lower rate pay to work that job. You guys don't get it. Regardless the immigrants are gone or not, the pay rate stay the same. The pay rate is not moving because guess what? There are going to be Americans, which there are Americans right now that's doing construction for that pay rate. They are going to fill the spots with all Americans that's willing to take that pay rate or get nothing. They're not the construction companies, the road building companies, they're not going to bring up their pay rates because they only employ American people. The pay rate is the pay rate. They're in this business to make money. They're not in this business for the friendship. They don't care about your birth certificate or your American passport. The 99% of companies don't care. They're in business to make money. They're in business. Whoever want to work, come and work. That's it. We're making this thing into politics. We're making this whole thing. Please stop it. Stop it, dude. Mr. Trump had so many opportunities when he was building golf courses. Mr. Trump have golf courses all around the world, not just in the United States, dude. He have golf courses in Switzerland. He has golf courses everywhere. You think when those golf courses is being built, he couldn't say like, listen, I'm going to fly only Americans to work in Switzerland to build my golf course. He had one down by, I think by the Trosneck Bridge over there, by Whitestone Bridge area. He had one built over there, but now he's a different name, I think. Yeah, but anyway, I used to drive past and see the people that was working on that golf course. Because in that park, there's a really nice park right there. I used to go jogging. I used to go jogging in the park when I was chubbier. So I used to go running in the park a lot. So I used to see the people that was actually making and creating the golf course in that area. Majority of these people was Black and Hispanics. So I'm like, Mr. Trump had the opportunity. He's the investor. The golf course was under his name. So he's under his name. He has a corporation. So is under his name. He's the head of the corporation, but he has a lot of other investors into stuff that he do. But still, his name is what make those stuff work. His name is the reason why people go to those things. So you should have seen the employees that was building the golf course. Nothing but colored people. Mr. Trump could have said, tell every other investors in the company, in the Gulf Coast and the stuff, he could have told them, listen, bro, we only want to employ American people. We don't care what color skin they are. They just make sure they have a birth certificate and American passport. That's the only people we want to employ. You think the companies, everybody would agree with that? Absolutely not. Because they know it's going to be a fact of they're going to have to up the pay and they're going to have to take a loss with their money. They're going to have to take less money than they want to spend. They're going to have to spend way more money than they actually budget to spend to hire 100 American workers. Company bosses don't want to hear that. Company CEOs don't want to hear that. They don't want to hear you have a American passport or American birth. They don't care, bro. They in business to make money, not to lose money, not to make friends, not to, oh, let me make 100 American friends. They don't care. They don't care who you are. The average company does not care who you are, dude. You're just another number. You're just a worker. Come here, do the job, and leave. Mr. Jeff Bezos do not care who is in none of this warehouse packing boxes, shipping the boxes. He don't care who is driving those trucks. He don't care. You guys are making an hourly pay rate. Go drop off the boxes, bring back the truck, and go home. Come back tomorrow if you choose to. If you don't, somebody else is going to do it. They don't care if you have the passport, the birth certificate. They don't care. It's all about the business keep going and they keep making profit. They're not trying to lose their profit because you have American birth certificate or American passport. They're not. This is not about work and you're giving the work to people that's willing to do the job for less money. People who are willing to work, let them work. Who cares? If you want to stay home and complain that you don't want to work for that amount of money, that's your choice. Open up your own business. This is America. Open your own business. Open your own company. You don't have to work for nobody else at the end of the day. You don't have to get up and go work for the $20, for the $30. Okay, let the immigrants do it. They want to do it. They don't care. They are loving making $20 an hour. Let them make $20 an hour. They're not complaining. They're getting up every day and going to build a building. They're getting up every single day and going to build the Gulf Coast. They're getting up every single day and going to build a hotel. No complaints for the $20 an hour. But you think as you're American, you're entitled to making $50 an hour. And instead of getting up, hey, you don't want to make it 20, you want to make 50. Instead of getting up and go open up your own business, open up your own company and do your own thing so you could make $100 an hour. No, you're going to stay home, cry, talk nonsense on the computer, talk garbage on social media, garbage on the internet, just talk a bunch of negative stuff about immigrants and everything is fine because you're lazy. You're lazy. Because you're lazy, you don't want to get up and go do nothing. You just want to sit back and make excuses. And people who's actually doing the jobs, people who's getting up and breaking their back every day to make an honest living, to earn an honest living, you want to put the blame on them because you don't want to work. 95% of American citizens are lazy. Lazy. Simple and plain. I don't care what color they are, what's the nationality, what's the religion. 95% of United States citizens are lazy. Straight like that. That's what I should title the video. Lazy Americans. Oh, yeah, that's my last set, bro. All right, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, I want to take the time to show my gratefulness by saying thank you guys very much for the people that tune into my stream. I really appreciate you guys watching my stream from Monday to Friday. Thank you guys very, very much. I hope you have a safe and good weekend. I hope you guys make God and His family a part of your decision making every single day. Always pray to God and His family no matter what you're going through. For those out there that's going through trials and tribulations within their life right now, just keep God and His family in your life. Just keep God and His family by your side. And just believe in God and His family that everything's going to work out for the better. If you do believe in God, just know everything that's happening to you right now is happening to you for a reason. And don't let what happen that don't do not let what's happening to you turn you into a bad person. You know, don't let the experience you're going through right now turn you into somebody that you walked away from years ago. Just keep standing with God. Keep God by your side. Keep praying. Keep showing God gratefulness. God knows truly in your heart if you really changed from who you was. God truly knows. So if you're going through any type of situation with the federal government, with ISIS right now, I hope and wish you guys all the best. Please stay safe. Please keep the faith. And don't take a bad situation and make it worse. Don't argue with the agents. Don't fight. Don't try to escape. Just do everything the way it's supposed to be done. And just always keep God in your heart. Just always know God and His family is next to you no matter what you're going through. And as human beings, every time we treat another human being bad, we always have to answer for it eventually in our lives. That's why I tell people all the time, it's very important to treat people the way you want to be treated, because as human beings, we will never get away with doing bad to others. Every bad thing that we do, every single day, we are going to have to answer for it from God and His family. Eventually, we're going to have to answer for our bad behavior. So no matter what you guys may be going through right now with ISIS and the federal government, just keep in mind, stay composed. Keep your faith in God and His family. Keep praying. And always keep in mind that everything that happens to you for a reason. Just keep that in mind every single day. It'll make you go to sleep more comfortable. It'll make you it'll make your days better. When you realize in life that everything that happens for a reason, you're going to have more peace in life. So that's how I live my life every day. I believe in God in everything that I do. I put God and His family in everything that I do every single day. I show gratefulness to God and His family everything that I do. Every time I eat, every time I drink water, before I drive my car, before I leave my house, when I get back home, I always put God and His family first. Everything that I do, and I don't walk with no fear. I walk with no fear. With no fear, I will never walk in fear of nobody, because I do what's right. I do what's right in the eyes of God and His family every day. I help my neighbors. I help as much as I can. I help those that need help. I help those that is looking for help. I go up and offer help to people. I pray. I ask God for a better world. I ask God to please help His kids out. Help us to figure out how we can come together to make this world a better place. I ask God to please help us to figure this out together. Instead of us pushing each other away, instead of us dividing, creating division within ourselves, instead of us dividing this world, I ask God every single day to show us a way that we could come together and make and do better for this world. As human beings, we're not perfect. We'll never be perfect. But every bad you do, you ask for forgiveness from God and His family, and you learn from that mistake. And you don't go back and continue doing bad. For those out there that unfortunately will be separated with their kids, with their families, the people that they love for years and years in their lives, just know everything that's taking place, God and His family is watching. And if you're truly deserving to be in this country, if you're truly deserving to come back, you'll be back to reunite with your family very soon. Just keep having faith, keep having patience. Don't go down the path of arguing with the federal agents. Don't go down the path of trying to run. Don't go down the path of trying to escalate a situation that's already bad for you. Just show respect, show kindness, and things will work out for you in the right way. May God bless us all. May God please watch over us every single day. Please, God, guide me, my families, my friends, my neighbors. Please guide us all in the right direction towards a safe, healthy, happy future. Please, God, bless us all on this beautiful, wonderful night and for the rest of our lives. Please, God, watch over us and guide us. Without you and your family in our lives, God, nothing is possible. You and your families what keep us together. You and your family is all I need in my life. You and your family is God that I pray to every day. You and your family, God, I'm very grateful to every single day. I thank you and your family, God, for my life and for everything else. I thank you, God. Thank you and your family, God, so very much for this house that I'm living in. Thank you and your family so much, God, for the car that I drive. I thank you and your family so much, God, for the food that I eat every day. And for those people, for those little kids, it's unfortunate is going to suffer without their father, their mother, because of some paperwork and because of something that did bad. Heart goes out to you guys, and I hope and wish everything gets better. Just keep God in your heart. Just keep praying. It breaks my heart just to think about people being separated from their families. I remember when I lost my grandparents, to me, that was the biggest loss in my life. People who actually raised me. So it's never the same. So I imagine a little kid right now having to lose one of the parents. I've been there, so I'm going to wish everybody the best, man. May God bless us all. May God bless our president, Mr. Donald J. Trump. I salute you, sir. May God bless everybody in the United States. May God bless our military. Until the next video, ladies and gentlemen, please stay strong. Pray to God. And I'll catch you guys in the next one, man.